Is making waves on a U.S. nuclear warship in the Atlantic Ocean. She is the first woman ever to be second in command of an aircraft carrier.
Fox 6's Suzanne Spencer had the exclusive opportunity to meet her out at sea. She joins us now in studio to share this incredible experience.
Stephanie and Brad, I traveled off the coast of Virginia to meet Captain Amy Bauernschmidt, who's leading thousands of sailors. But to understand her, you have to understand where she comes from and why that's so crucial to her success. Welcome to a place that's so loud. Action literally means more than words. A nuclear warship in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Sailors see the best.
Man overboard, man overboard, man overboard. Stop.
And train for the worst.
1 nautical mile.
Below deck,
now the fun starts.
Is not much different. If you run into Amy Bauernschmidt, you'll need some comfortable shoes.
Yesterday I did about 20,000 steps.
Because she's not slowing down. Even though the Milwaukee native speaks in Navy lingo,
What's up, 1 Bravo?
she sounds more like a cheerleader
Fires and flooding tonight for all my friends. Woo!
than a naval officer.
Are you ready?
She's second in command of the aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln, one of 11 aircraft carriers stationed around the world,
And 1/3, starboard engine stop.
whose purpose is to support aircraft and defend the U.S. in conflict. And it's all led by one person.
So as commanding officer, I oversee this beautiful warship and all the sailors on board.
Get me some white lights. I need some zebras. Woo! Grab the white lights, please, while you're getting your zebras.
And he isn't quiet about his executive officer's success.
She is doing a phenomenal job.
Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Amy is not a follower, but you will be following her,
What's up, 1 Foxtrot?
just trying to keep up.
Woo!
Closing the hatches, sealing the doors, and prepping for fires and floods. It's all part of a simulated missile crisis.
Testing agent.
They do it wearing fire-resistant hoods to protect themselves as if a real missile struck.
Copy.
You practice like you fight. It will be exactly the same. So I will absolutely cheerlead them and scream, I need my zebras on a real day, just as I would today.
Amy has been opening doors since she left Divine Savior Holy Angels in her home at 45th and Burleigh. Some things, though, haven't changed.
Nobody outside of Milwaukee knows what a bubbler is, except for Australia. These are scuttlebutts, otherwise known as water fountains to most people and bubblers to us.
After 24 years, she's opening new doors for women across the Navy. She is the first female executive officer ever to be second in command of a nuclear warship.
Very few times in my life have I actually sat there and thought about the fact that I was a woman doing this, because for the most part I was just treated as a naval officer and an aviator, and then somewhere in 5th or 6th place, oh well, she's a woman.
Seriously? Did you just stop without putting that hatch all the way down?
And while she can't be stopped now, she almost was in her late 20s.
I think I need 10 push-ups. Do I need 10 push-ups for not putting the hatch all the way down?
A Navy lieutenant, so someone about a year or so junior to me, just looked at me and he goes, Amy, you're still not getting out. You're perfect for this. And I don't know what it was about that statement, but I went home that night and I was like, he's right. And in that instant, any thought of getting out of the Navy went by the wayside for good.
Where are all my zebras? Woo!
And so did speaking quietly.
Zebras!
But the 47-year-old isn't quiet about the sailors who motivate her.
That is the best part of the job. That is the most amazing part of the job. Because the only reason I get up in the morning and come to work is because of the sailors. And so to see, oh, there we go. Guess who just showed up?
But she can be distracted.
Hey, how close are we on timeline?
But the distractions and responding to them is what propelled Amy through the naval aviation pipeline
Roger. Who just went down there?
and into an even greater role she hasn't yet conquered. After 2 years of putting out fires on the carrier, she'll spend the next 3 commanding an amphibious ship.
Hey, it's the XO.
In 2021, she's on track to be the first woman ever to command a U.S. nuclear warship.
You take one day at a time and one step at a time in a lot of ways. So I honestly don't think about that at all. What I think about every day is what I have to do to get Abraham Lincoln ready for deployment.
Cheer 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? It's like an old school cheer. All right.
Coaching them through physics with, yes, a cheer.
Oh, what?
It's really inspiring because when I first came into the Navy, I didn't think that there were women that held that type of rank.
She's a very outstanding leader. She's always on top of everyone.
Anything exciting going to be happening?
This vocal Milwaukee-made leader
Awesome sauce.
doesn't know where her course ends.
You know, you take each tour as it comes. I'm still having fun. I will stick around as long as I'm having fun, and I'm able to support the troops and the sailors in some manner. It's probably a crappy answer, but you will edit it to something marvelous. Ha! Lights!
This ship will always have its biggest cheerleader, who one day will be leading a ship of her own.
Thanks, APO! Woo!
That ship that Bauernschmidt is on right now will deploy early next year, but it will go without her. She'll move on to command an amphibious ship, and based on her performance there, she could be selected for commanding officer in the summer of 2021.
To be in a position like her, I mean, obviously she had to go through tons of training.
And it's not just her, it's so incredible. Everyone who is in the Navy has to go through pretty intensive training. That's really a pillar of what they do. Now, tomorrow at 9, I went through some of the training that some of the aviators go through, and we'll see if I pass.
That's awesome. Great stuff. Thanks for taking us on board.
Absolutely, it was a great experience.
Well, still to come.